Yeah, here we go. You got a ship right, you made it big right. You feel invincible because you're federal. Your Corvette's nice and clean, you ride so dangerously. You have that confidence that's only built through ignorance. Some dude is spinning you, interdicting in the blue. You check your scanners fast, but with that ship your shields will last. The tunnel finally pops, a cobra made you stop. Well, it's his death you think can turn to kill. It's a bad, bad world. It's a bad, bad world. It's a big bad world. It's a bad, bad. So here we go, right? Let's start the short fight. But when your cannon's full, he's not in front of you. Your scanner's empty, your gimbal's wildly aim at nothing visible. Oh yeah, you're miserable. You hear a missile lock, but this one really rocks. Your modules plummet, but this ain't what it seems. You're turning like a pig, a roasted favorite thing. A cobra dances and you slowly fade. It's a bad, bad world. It's a bad, bad world. It's a big bad world. It's a bad, bad. It's a bad, bad. It's a bad, bad. It's a bad, bad. It's a You think you got the view, but is he baiting you? You chase him with no cares, shock mines are everywhere. You're low, he jumps to cruise, your anger blows a fuse. You see him heading to a local port. You chase him for some more, you see him by the doors. His shields are off your mind, you foolishly retort. He files a check to make your gimbal's big mistake. They hit the station and you finally see it's a bad, bad world. It's a bad, bad world. It's a big bad world. It's a bad, bad. It's a bad, bad world. It's a bad, bad world. It's a big bad world. It's a bad, bad. Lost young hearts living rough so vulnerable, gathered by a hangman's rope. With apocalyptic words they charm their souls, locked into the hype charts, there's no hope. They first just wish to see the bubble burn, to meet the makers of their fate. The front row seat to watch humanity's fall. Any chance to leave was much too late. So the Father will arrive, bring glory to us all. Please take our soul tonight, tonight. Purified in spirits, lightened by daily drugs injected oh so deep. The order talks of meeting God, yes God, an appointment one must really keep. Fasting then removed all resistance, the chapter lay inside the crypts. They willed their deity to come meet them all, to take their soul oh so quick. So the Father will arrive, bring glory to us all. Please take our soul tonight, tonight. And so they walked into the crypts, high on narcotics and weakened by fasting, yet full of excitement to meet their God. Not what the age would refer to as the Thargoids, but an omniscient and most holy being, to meet their Maker. And on that day they believed that all of humanity would be destroyed, but those that would heed the truth would ascend into the inner light and be transformed. right now. The bubble's on fire and the bugs are really starting to grow. We made a grab on the Witch Head Nebula. I think we poked a beat there, so I got the ships, I got them engineered, but now I need some new parts too. I'm running mad for the Guardian sides, only need 1002. Jump on board, come on, let's maul the crew. Jump on board, hey, you can see my flight suit too. Jump on board, or you can press my new Taipan. Jump on board, let's make friends with the beautiful swarm. We'll go hunting for some bugs tonight, or looking in a source or two. So here's a list so you don't get pissed, jumping in and losing your cool. Threat 1, nothing but NPCs flying in the deep blue sky. Threat 2, maybe a Thargoid probe, move it and see if you die. Threat 3, a fog with scouts inbound, scratching your paintwork fast. Threat 4, it's a cloud of debris, watch it baby, watch your ass. Threat 5, is that an interceptor, a cyclops to look into your mind. Threat 6, or a basilisk, the king of serpents arise. Threat 7, you are going to heaven, but just got you in her eyes. Threat 8, tries to scouts on a hydra, just keep the whole alive. Jump on board, come on, let's maul the crew. Jump on board, and you can see my flight suit too. Jump on board, or you can grab my new Taipan. Jump on board, I think you found a beautiful swarm. I think it's looking at you. It's coming for you. Again, they're coming for you. Still they're coming for you. I think they're looking at you. Oh, they're gonna kill you. Oh yeah, they're coming for you. Non-human signal sources flashing in my mind. I think the bugs are trying to tell us to leave this place behind. Colonia seems so peaceful, but it's oh so far away. The bubble is full, we can lose 1,000 stations and still play. Elite, it's dangerous if you call even trouble. Elite, it's dangerous, putting in Palin's trouble. Elite, it's dangerous, staring in Medusa's eyes. Elite, it's dangerous if you don't have a rebuy. Elite, it's dangerous if you go looking for trouble. Elite, and it's dangerous, poking in Palin's trouble. Elite, and it's dangerous, staring in Medusa's eyes. Elite, and it's dangerous if you leave your rebuy behind. Don't forget your rebuy.
I could murder a cup of tea. Yorkshire Gold, if you have it. Double Yorkshire Gold. And if you don't have it, you're dead. Lave Radio, broadcasting to every corner of the galaxy.
Hello and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings and welcome to Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders.
Greetings, Commanders.
The show that talks about the universe of Elite
and the development of the computer game Elite 4, known as Elite Dangerous,
and the fantastic
community that surrounds it.
Broadcast from Orange Sidewinder and hosted by a vending machine technician.
A place of nonsense and innuendo for forum dads.
A self-contained podcast 2 hours long.
Transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
It's even louder than me.
The hottest show this side of Dizzo.
The name of the place.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Lave Radio.
Greetings, Commanders, and welcome to episode 579 of Lave Radio, the show about the universe of Elite and the fantastic community that surrounds it. I'm your host, Commander Psykit. Colin, he's not still ill. I should clarify. Colin's not still ill. He's away this week. So you got me instead. Apologies. But joining me in the Orange Side Roundabout for this episode are our Head of Health and Safety, Commander Ed Revice, otherwise known as Ben Moss Woodward.
Is it good to thin your blood out with rum?
Really great question, especially
as a way to cool you down.
In this economy, I don't know. Our SRV Banksy, Commander Alec Turner.
Why is it so hot?
It's ridiculously hot.
Stop.
What the hell? We also have, I'm going off script, but we also have hanging around in the bar, I think soon, the Chris Mark IV. You can say hello if you want. I know you're still here. That's awkward.
Hello.
There he is. And we also have the lovely Apathis doing some tech stuff.
Oh.
There he is. Okay, cool. If you wish, you can join us live. Chris is hanging out in the bar in Lave. Ben is also...
I'm in Lave!
Oh my God, he's home.
Hey!
If you can't get in game, you can also join the Twitch chat channel, which you can access through laveradio.com/live and clicking on live chat, and also on twitch.tv/Lave Radio. We've been away for a week. I'm going to start with Alec. How you doing, mate?
I am good. I'm home. DW3 is over. Hooray! But first of all, what have I been up to? I finished wallpapering a bedroom, which took longer than I thought, but is looking fantastic.
Wallpaper managed to stay sticky in this weather.
Yeah, I was half expecting to sort of wake up the next morning and find it all in coils around the floor, but no, it does seem to have stayed up, which is good. What else? I went to see Mandalorian and Grogu, which I did enjoy it. It's sort of weird. It's a bit weird. It's like it's probably my aging sensibilities, but I just become more and more aware of films just seem to be relentless violence. So Mandalorian was basically 2.5 hours of relentless violence, basically in which the Mandalorian comes off as a mass murderer.
Amazing! I cannot wait to see it now.
And then for like light relief for the kiddies, it's intercut with bits of Michael Bentine's Potty Time for anyone that remembers that. It's very strange juxtaposition of different like age groups that it seems to be aimed at. Anyway, I did enjoy it. It was fine. And then Psykit may recall many hours ago today that I said I was leaving work because it was getting hot.
I did. I remember that.
It took me 3 hours to get home because all the railway tracks are actually melting. They're having to run trains very slowly because the tracks apparently aren't rated to maintain whatever it
Oh
is
shit!
their strength in this heat, which is slightly worrying. So it took 3 hours to get home. I had to abandon the railway system entirely in the end and get a taxi from Watford.
That's really good. We're going to London on Thursday. Oh shit!
Yeah, good luck.
Oh fuck. Okay, cool.
A mate of mine, I didn't bump into him, but was headed the other way going into town for a gig, and I was thinking, you're not going to make it. Anyway, and then in game we're back from DW3, which is great. It's really quite funny to see all these people that have had 3 months of sort of time trial race training spreading out around the bubble and trying out all the time trials that Shea Blackwood's currently top of the leaderboard on, and he's finding himself being knocked off a few, which is strangely enjoyable to watch.
Keeping Shea humbled. I love to see
it's
it.
this sort of lovely clash between, we had this nice sort of little. We always welcomed new people, but it did end up like our nice little community of racing regulars. And we all knew what the pecking order was and who was best and who was second best and all that. And the leaderboard sort of hold that out pretty much. And then suddenly like a good 20 or 30 very good races have all suddenly got back from DW3 and converged on the leaderboards. And it's a joy to watch. Oh, and the last bit of in-game news is something slightly shocking, but we did sort of see it coming with colonization, has happened. So one of my racetracks, which was a construction yard, which has a leaderboard in ED Copilot with lots of times on it, while I was gone, some generous soul decided to complete my construction.
Oh my gosh!
So the construction yard is gone. I have reached out to that person on the forums. There's two possibilities. One, it was malicious. I hope not. I don't feel like I've made many enemies, but somebody might have gone, haha, I'll screw with Mr. Turner. I think it's far more likely that someone thought they were doing me a favour. And the only reason I've reached out to you on the forums is just to say that I am going to destroy it and build it again. And if possible, please don't complete it this time. Because I would like to leave it as a construction yard.
Oh my god.
Obviously, if it is malicious, then equally, joke's kind of on you because it costs me nothing to destroy it, and you have to deliver 25,000 tons of steel to build it. So,
could you call it "Please leave me alone"? I'm a construction yard.
Well, the thing is, it looks exactly like Devil's Tower in Close Encounters of the Third Kind, so I have to call it Devil's Tower again. What's going to happen? Here's a question: when I destroy it, am I going to have to pay to call it Devil's Tower again?
I don't know.
I bet I do. I bet I will.
I bet you do, yeah.
Bummer. Okay, joke's on me because it's costing me arcs. And on that bombshell, that's my community. That's my news.
Oh, how about you, Ben? What you've been up to?
Also, like Alec, back from DW3. It's weird to be back in the bubble. It's really weird. I've got all these different places to go, and I like all the standard places and things I can go and do again. Which is weird. Real life wise, I too went and saw Mandalorian and Grogu, and I agree with what Alec's saying about it being, 2 and a bit hours of non-stop violence. Because that's kind of what a bounty hunter is.
And then Michael Bentine's potty time, right?
I don't get what you meant by potty time.
You don't remember Michael Bentine's potty time?
Jokes.
It was a TV series.
It's a TV
tiny
series
little
I've never
puppets.
heard of.
He used to have a fleet. This is one for the real oldies. Give me an 07 in chat if anyone remembers Michael Bentine's potty time.
I mean, I can understand calling it the Muppets or something. But
no,
what I find,
there was a very particular sensibility to Michael Bentine's potty time, which is exactly what Grogu has. Thank you, Wintermute.
Wintermute and Bograts know what you're talking about. Nobody else does.
No. I'm sure there will be some others.
I'm sure. Oh no, Blind Rabbit as well. Blind Grey Rabbit does. Sorry. This is good. This actually makes me feel young. I like this. Thank you, Alec. What I actually found truly impressive about that, though, is you're right. You did have like 15 minutes or something like that, where literally there are no humans in the screen, and it is being the screen and the audience's attention was being held by nothing more than puppets, and that's amazing. I think.
Oh, here's one more thing I'll tell you about Mandalorian and Grogu, Ben. There are 2 women in it, and one of them is Sigourney Weaver, and the other one is Jabba the Hutt's Mrs.
Yeah.
Literally.
Mrs.
There are 2 females in the entirety of the film.
That feels like a Star Wars. There you go. That'll feel like a Star Wars movie to me. That's perfect.
Okay, I know for a fact that's wrong because a bunch of the directors are in it, and a bunch of them are women.
Oh, okay. Are they lurking in the background? Are they sort of?
Yeah, a lot of the pilots and things like that were directors of the TV show.
Go on then.
Okay.
Definitely found.
But anyway, main characters.
Good.
Yeah. I really think that the puppets held their own as characters in Mandalorian and Grogu, and if you like the Mandalorian series, like seasons 1 and 2, I think you'd enjoy the movie. It's like I went to see the show and I saw it on the big screen, and I don't see anything bad about that. But it's not big epic cinema, is it?
No, it's sort of Saturday afternoon.
Yeah.
Saturday afternoon movie club, isn't it?
Yeah, but it's like I saw X-Wings looking pretty fucking good on the big screen, and that makes me happy. I went to Snoswell's. I caught up with Vang Thian and Snoswell and a bunch of the Hutton truckers over the weekend. That was a lot of fun. We all got very, very hot and stayed remarkably sober, and made pizzas on Saturday. So that was awesome. And I got absolutely fucked around by British Rail. Well, by entities formerly known as British Rail not working together on Sunday. What was meant to be a 1 and a bit hour journey on 2 trains turned into a multi-hour and 5 trains, one of which didn't even fucking run on Sunday. So yeah, that wasn't very amusing for me. But I still made it back, so yay. That's really been about my life, I guess.
Okay, right. What have I been doing? I have been, let's talk in game first. I've been playing a bit of Elite. I've decided that legitimately just for the lols, I'm going to get the Dodec with all the arms.
Oh no.
But no, it's got to be done, mate. It's got to be done. You've got to get the Dodec with all of the arms for the absolute bit. I've got to do it. It's got to happen. That said, I'm not paying for it. Fuck that shit. So I'm actually trying to do it a legit way. And I realize that I don't have a lot of stuff in my system. I don't have a lot of points with which to buy it. I don't know by the time I finally finish like making everything that I need, if I'm going to either have space or the points for it, because the points required grows exponentially as you go through. So I've got to do the noob hammers for the bit, like all of them. I've got to make a spiky monstrosity. I might pay to call it look at this abomination or something along those lines. But yeah, it's that's what we're working on. That's what I've been working on after doing like donning my cape and actually working out what was already in the system to be able to make stuff. I used SRV server and got it all to update and populate, and with Raven Colonial, and that was like really fun, really fun to get that all done. What else have I been up to? I took a couple of days off over the weekend just to sort of like rest and decompress. over not last weekend but the weekend before, just to have a little bit of time. A good solid amount of Clock Tower has been played. I don't know much else really. We've just been like making the most of some really nice weather here and there, nipping out and doing some bits, and trying to stay cool under studio lighting and with computers running all the time is an absolute pain in the butt. But it's chill time. We are chill time in the run up to a mental month because it's Pride Month next month, and that's my favorite month of the year. Still haven't seen any movies. Planning on hopefully seeing Mandalorian and Grogu pretty soon, but that's kind of about it for me. I'm trying to think of any other games that I finished and or started. I'm still doing Mass Effect Andromeda. God, there's so much to that game that I missed the first time round. God, there's so much hidden. There's a whole architect that I missed the first time round because there's no actual signpost for the mission. You just sort of like have to talk to a guy and he casually mentions it. He's got no like exclamation point above his head or anything like that where you can actually go and do the mission. And I was just like, okay, sure, that's fine. I'm trying to think of anything else that I've had a look at. Like, there's so many sci-fi games out there at the moment. There's so many like sci-fi games just either out there or just on the periphery of coming out, and a lot of them look like they might be quite good. But yeah, that's where I am. I'm going to ask Epaphras how he's doing.
About recovered from World Book weekend. That was a long weekend. Lots of late nights there. And then obviously with my stream everything was chaotic, so that was fun. And then after recovering from that, played a bit of Elite. And then some Jump Space yesterday, Blood on the Clock Tower on Sunday. And that's about it really.
Yay. Amazing. Awesome. Good stuff. Right. So what have the devs been speaking about? Well, they have said something. We've had our May devlog, which has given us something that we will, the deep dive into operations, into one of the operations, is something I think that we're going to wait until Colin is back to properly talk about, because I feel like he's probably going to want to weigh in on it, and it feels like it's going to be a double discussion. What do you guys feel like?
Yeah. I think
Colin having an opinion or two.
Colin weighed in.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, we've got they've given us a big deep dive into Firestorm Rescue, which was previously called Burning Rescue, and with a couple of little videos and things just of what to expect with this particular.
Can I say one thing about Firestorm, and I don't think
Absolutely.
it detracts from the big discussion with Colin. One thing that really struck me about Firestorm, like in the past when we've had burning stations, I've always taken the fires and the burning to be the kind of accidental byproduct of combat and missiles and and things going off and buildings catch fire as they do in those sort of scenarios. But what's really fucking horrific about Project Firestorm is that the objective of the enemies is to cook people. They locked the doors. They
You're
turned off
complaining
the
about the
sensors.
violence in The Mandalorian.
They've installed incinerators in the station. It's utterly
And
barbaric.
like heat modifiers on the outside as well. The whole thing. It's like, what? These bad guys have set up a fucking torture chamber for a lot of people.
Honestly, you've gone really dark on this. Anyway.
That's a much bigger situation to talk about. Oh my gosh. Etienne Dawn's barbecued meats coming soon. The thing that they did talk about.
Is the whole new advert. Anyway, go.
Oh my gosh. Etienne Dawn's bar and grill. Get right in, Chris. So the other thing that they mentioned, which we are definitely going to touch on right now, is going to be the stellar lighting that they've mentioned as well, because this came out of the blue.
I see what you did where.
I wasn't expecting this to see this at all, and they've provided us with some examples. They're looking to redress the fact that every star that you go to looks exactly the same. Every star that you go to looks exactly the same in Odyssey, and it was a complaint about when they upgraded. Upgraded is a funny word when you talk about it like that. When they added the Odyssey update, everything became a bit more flatter as far as tonal variance is concerned, and this is Frontier's attempt to sort of bridge the gap between the two. So it isn't going to be, my understanding from reading this is that it isn't going to be the huge vibrancy and disparation of colours between that Horizons had, but it is going to be much more noticeable than it being non-existent.
Yes, I think, because I remember the coloration and it was wonderful. I mean, it didn't look garish, but I thought it looked wonderful. I mean, it's the obvious thing of planet surfaces taking on the colour of the starlight, so it's
not
just random. It seemed perfect. What intrigues me is why, I guess it's hard to visualise, but why that was a problem for On Foot. I guess it just didn't look right.
I wonder if it's linked to shadows in some way and the shadows flickering. This is just conjecture.
Yeah,
I don't have any idea. But I wonder if the change in hue at the time was attached to sort of intensity, and when they tried to do something with that with the On Foot stuff, because they were so much closer to, because you're so much closer to a building than you would be with when you're in a ship. Maybe it's a bit more noticeable.
Yeah.
And the feedback was like, oh, you're gonna have to, it needs to be more consistent. From their QA was it needs to be more consistent, and then commanders went no, and it's taken them years to fix it or at least change it.
Have any of you guys played with Reshade, and does anyone know if there were movements by people who do play with Reshade to get the originals back again or something like that?
I haven't, but yes, I have, even since this announcement, seen comments that you can achieve similar effects with reshaders to what these, but whether you can do it with the right subtlety. I mean, the whole point of this is that the colour of what you're seeing is picking up on the starlight.
Yeah,
And
I was just wondering.
I don't know that Reshade's capable of knowing what colour the parent star is.
I'm not sure. I guess I'm just wondering was there something that people have been able to put right? And maybe if they have, they could then actually say, you know what, this is wrong because of this, but I'd rather it because of the prettiness.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's just I'm aware of Reshade, but it's just something I've never ever bothered with.
I quite liked in the blog. They say, where is it? They say something like they talk about missing the dramatic tones of the original grade, and then the picture immediately after that. Most comments I've seen are people saying, "I can't tell the difference."
Is this a pink one? Just
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's a lot more noticeable on the bluer ones for sure. Yeah. But it is noticeable. I've done some shorts that it actually sort of like swipes along the picture, so it's a little like seeing them next to each other. It's a little bit easier to do the office meme. It's the same picture, but when you swipe it over, it does definitely look different. I will say that my favorite picture out of all of them is the stellar cloud.
It looks great, doesn't it?
It's so beautiful.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be nice not to have the beige smears.
I was flying around today, and every time I saw like any inkling of like that brown stellar dust, I was like, your time is limited, sunshine. Off you pop. We're gonna get actual. Oh, it looks so good.
Yeah.
And that's been based on like actual stellar photography as well that they've been using.
The funny thing is, I don't know if you remember this, but the brown, this was like an unannounced thing that came in with a patch not that long ago, like 6 months ago. They accentuated the stellar dust. It may
I
have
can't
always been
remember.
brown, but it didn't used to look like that. And then suddenly we had a patch about something completely different, and that Milky Way was much more noticeable, but brown. Yeah, it looks so good. I'm really excited about this. I mean, I'm
Yeah,
sort
me
of
too.
joking about not being able to tell the difference, but and what I think's really funny is how excited the community is. You know, the Frontier have been putting in months and months and months of effort on operations, and it's been delayed and delayed. And people are, of course, excited about operation, but people are so excited about the change in colour.
It's just going to be so. It's just going to be so nice going to like a planet and it being different, but it's going to be add so much more variation to the galaxy. Variation is the word of the day.
I'm sure Rini will be equally excited, but I'm really excited to go back and see the Reen Haven. So I don't know if you've ever been to the Reen Haven, which was a planetary base that was named for the Rini from the birds. But it used to, I mean, it still is beautiful, but it used to be so beautiful. The coloration around it was stunning, and then when Odyssey came out, it did rather lose some of that. So I'm hoping it's going to be restored because it was a lovely place.
Yeah, I just keep thinking about a couple of places that were before Odyssey, and then after I know it's just gonna.
Yeah, and the really cruel joke is that we've literally just got back from spending 3 months sightseeing around the galaxy, so we're just gonna have to go again now.
Well, it's a time capsule, isn't it? Now it's a time capsule of the time the galaxy was entirely brown.
Throw all the screenshots away and start again.
Yeah, well, you've got to, haven't you? That's the way it goes.
It's a good excuse for DW4, isn't it?
Well, you're getting ahead of my questions, but
oh, sorry.
we will. It's so the one thing I will add with the with this devlog is the little bit at the end where they say, Galnet recap, it's been a busy month for galactic news, and they then include 4 articles.
Including one from April.
Yeah.
Very busy.
So busy.
I had to laugh.
I was like, oh, crikey, that's not great. Yeah, that was the one bit that I read when I was reading through it. I was like, yeah, I'm not going to mention that. I'm not going to mention that anymore.
We're busy. It's been a month. It's been a month of collected news.
Yeah, this month definitely happened. There was news in it. Okay, right. So yeah, that's the development news. We will absolutely talk about operations even more. We've got 2 episodes of Lave that we're fully planning on wholeheartedly deep diving into all of them. You're going to be sick. You're probably already sick of us all talking about operations as it is. But let's move on to the community news and find out what the commanders have been up to.
And now, to the community coroner.
It's a dead game, innit, mate?
Okay, I have a ludicrous amount of community news to cover, mostly a bunch of DW3 stuff that I can rattle through. But, so yeah, to start with, Operation Warbucks happened, which is the big annual charity fundraising event for cancer, helping American Cancer Society, St. Columbus Hospice, Rack and Roll Blood Cancer Council, and Terry Fox, I guess. They raised a stunning $16,312.11 across all the different charities. So absolutely fantastic stuff from everyone involved in Operation Warbucks, which is Orange Phoenix, isn't it? Sort of spearheads that, but I know loads and loads and loads of other people are involved too. So superb stuff. Right, item 2. I'm going to break my rule again and recommend the Burr Pit. This is a Galnet news feature they did on Lady Z and the consortium, so it was outside of their sort of regular Which Space news, but it was a little sort of talky thinky piece between the burrs about the Lady Z Galnet article and some speculation about Lady Z's identity. I think they might have nailed it. I thought it really made me think, yeah, I think you've got that right. It's worth a watch. We'll link it in the show notes, but it talks about the consortium and the relationship between Lady Z's consortium and another consortium that's in the game, and it suspiciously features in the codex and drills down into all of that, and it's good, solid speculation. And yeah, my money's with the birds. I think they've nailed that. Right, next up, a few weeks back, I mentioned Void Hearts, and following on about Void Hearts, I love it when people in the elite community do this. So Commander Exor and the Intergalactic Astronomical Union have published a white paper on Void Hearts and the Heart of the Galaxy expedition. I just love it when like people take something in this game and like really get into it. You know, like when Canon started doing proper aerodynamic modeling of all the spaceships and things, and how the Type 8 had the aerodynamics of a brick and all that sort of deep physics stuff. Anyway, so this is a white paper on Void Hearts and their distribution around the galaxy, and what you sort of find at the different layers of the Void Heart cloud, and all the different types of Void Heart and the different systems they appear in. So it's very timely, given that I was very struck by these things, and we were discussing where they are in the galaxy. So it turns out there's a whole damn white paper on the subject. So yeah, you can go and follow the link, and there's a PDF. Right, my next section is just titled DW3 videos, and I've got a whole bunch. So DW3 is over. There are hundreds of videos, but I just picked out a bunch that I particularly liked. All the links in the show notes, but I'll rattle through them quickly. So there's Distant Worlds 3 Slander by Orbital Potato, which I found really funny. There were a lot of memes that sort of built up, in jokes and things that built up, particularly in the Discord channel, I suppose, during the course of DW3. Jokes about the FAQ and nobody reading it and all that kind of thing. And this is a very funny video that sort of puts together a bunch of the sort of meme concepts. So probably means more to people that were on DW3 than those that weren't, but very funny. I'm going to sneak mine in second in the hope that nobody notices. But I actually no, it's not me. I'm trying to pretend that I no longer know who SRV Banksy is, but that ship has long since sailed. So yes, the
should we stop introducing you as SRV Banksy
yeah,
then, Alec?
Giveaway,
just out of curiosity.
So me, aka SRV Banksy, has done another of my little doodles where I use the SRV and I use an aerial view to doodle with tire tracks. So it's a double doodle this time. On the left-hand side of the screen, I draw out the Distant Worlds 3 logo, and on the right-hand side, I trace the route that Distant Worlds 3 took, and I'm rather pleased with the end result. So there's a link to that. The racing sort of community within DW3 that I was obviously heavily involved in have produced dozens of fantastic videos. Greaves was kind of instrumental in the racing scene. You know, Greaves really picked up the idea of building Racetrack 3D Copilot and ran with it, and was there every weekend hosting live events and put a huge amount of effort into fostering that community. And he's made a fantastic video. He took loads of video clips and he's just sort of picked bits of all of them. So it's quite a long video. It's maybe 20 minutes, but it's clips from most of the races that we did. And what I really like is that he sort of includes lots of kind of in Discord chat between all the commanders that were taking part. So it's sort of very joyous to listen to. So that's called There and Back Again Full Throttle Edition by Greaves. There's loads of others too that have done similar things, so apologies to all the ones I didn't feature, but I particularly like that one. They did a thing at the end of Distant Worlds 3. They did a scatter jump. I don't know if it's been done before, but I thought it was quite a cool idea. So instead of the usual mass jump where everyone points the same way, they did these things called scatter jumps, where they basically built a ball of spaceships with everyone facing outwards. And then everyone took off in different directions. I wasn't part of one, but I think they were fairly well organized. So people had their place in the ball and the direction they were going to jump. And this is as good a video as any, just highlighting one of the scatter jumps and how it's this sort of nice ball of hyperspace trails. It's very cool. Right, there's next video is called Distant Worlds 3 Ending Ceremony. Again, so there was an ending ceremony in the scatter jump and that stuff, and there was also lots of use of the firework flat cannon stuff. This was a particularly nice video from Exploding Pie that includes sort of racing footage as well. But Zoria Hopper, who was one of the kind of main leaders of Distant Worlds 3 and one of the fleet carrier commanders, sort of instrumental in the FAQ and trying to keep people on track in Discord. So Zoria made this. I wasn't there, unfortunately, at the time, but I heard it afterwards. But made this wonderful speech. It really was a fantastic speech, and this video kind of has that as the backdrop to lots of footage of race action and stuff. So it's a really nice video. Right, the next couple of videos are quite interesting. Also Distant Worlds 3. So there's this thing you can do on like sites like edastro where you can upload your journals and you can basically see the hyperspace jumps that you've taken around the galaxy, so you can see your route being traced out in a video form. And so these couple of videos, one by Antisectant and one by Artemis 387, basically attempt to visualize DW3 on the galaxy map. Both very cool, and you can just sort of see the different waypoints lighting up and people jumping around. So during Distant Worlds 3, there were like side POIs to go off and visit, sort of in the vicinity. So it's not just straight lines. People are zigzagging around all the different POIs. So it's really cool to just see the DW3 sort of make a very visible mark on the tracking on the galaxy map. So 2 videos there that highlight that. There's and the last one I was going to feature was a video by Giuseppe's World called Distant Worlds Legacy Tour Volume 3. Obviously a series of 3 videos, but just really nice high production value, beautiful stuff. There's a zoom effect. I don't know what package it's in. I think Protocops kind of made it popular, but there's this kind of effect when you cut from one video to another with a kind of quick zoom in, zoom out that I'm really rather partial to, and there's lots of that going on. And it's got nice music and just really super cool videos. Incidentally, Protocops was on DW3, and have I featured it? Yes, I've got something coming up from Protocops, but he's taken some incredible screenshots which are in the DW3 Discord. But we are promised that there is a video coming which I just cannot wait for, which is going to cover the whole of DW3. Right, off the subject of DW3, a few other things. There's a really cool video by Mr. Bish Bosch called Spelfie Time Space Selfie. I think Orange Phoenix may have been the first person to pioneer or at least showcase the Spelfie, but it's kind of where you use the pointer motor or similar, and you position the camera, and basically if you time it right, it looks like you're holding a selfie camera and you can take these selfies. And this is an entire compilation of Distant Worlds 3 selfies from Mr. Bish Bosch, which I really like. It's a really cool thing to do. It's quite tricky to get. You have to get the position just right, but fantastic collection. Oh, I've got these out of order. This is back to Distant Worlds 3 again, sorry. This is Elite Dangerous FR have done a very cool thing. So one of the things that they do with their adventures, which really are fantastic, if people haven't tried them yet, but one of the concepts they came up with is a sort of thing that a reward you could earn, I suppose, for doing the adventures, was these collectible booster cards. So they're like little collector cards. They're just digital images of collector cards, and they have names and a little bit of text and a nice image, most of which are screenshots or doodles or logos or things like that. And there are hundreds and hundreds of them now, and they've got a whole thing on their website where you can put cards that you've got duplicates up. You can put them up for swaps with other people and and sort of do trades with excuse me, with other commanders and stuff. And they have these packs that you earn, like a booster pack, and you click on it and it pops open in a burst of confetti and you get a bunch of cards. It's all very cool. It's very nicely done. Anyway, they have released a set of booster cards that celebrate DW3. I heard somewhere that there's 200 of them, which is extraordinary. All like different waypoints, and all the different fleet carriers. And anyway, so if you're already signed up, or if you're not, if you go to the Elite Dangerous FR website, there's a gift code which is Distant World 3. It's all one word, no hyphen, sort of punctuation or anything. Distant World 3, and you get 5 of these little booster packs, each of which contains 5 cards, I think, something like that. Anyway, lots of cards to collect. They're all lovely. Right, nearly the end. Protocops, who I mentioned, yes. So Protocops has developed a thing called Elite Dangerous Photographer, which you can download from their GitHub site. There are lots of these, but it's basically a thing that monitors your Elite Dangerous screenshots folder and does a bunch of things with the screenshots that you take. So there's a little bullet list here. Real-time monitoring of the screenshots folder. It renames your screenshots, including the system, the station, and exact coordinates, which is very cool. I'm not sure I've seen another one of these do coordinates before. So if you take a screenshot on a planet surface, the coordinates become part of the file name. Automatically converts BMP files to PNGs and JPEGs, organizes screenshots into folders named after the systems. There's a viewer with the grid. It's like an application as well as a little plugin thing. So there's a viewer with a grid and a list view and a previewer, and clipboard integration. So all that kind of lovely stuff to do with turning your useless, your badly named BMP files that the raw screenshot gets you, and turning them into something really useful and a really nice collection. Like I say, there's loads of these. There's a Canon plugin, and I think Ben's even written one, but this seems like a pretty cool one. 2 more. Project Galtier, who give us regular updates. They've passed a major milestone now. So Project Galtier is the big colonization project, and they have finally passed the 10,000 light years from Sol. So they've colonized Pleo AIM OJG B253 and have built a dodecahedron as a monument to this called Gautier's 10,000 from Sol, which they've painted golden red.
The better with all the hammers on it.
Yeah. So 10 Kylie colonization has got now, at least.
Wild.
Okay, last of all, I'm just going to do a quick roundup. So during Distant Worlds 3, we had all this time trial racing going on. Basically, a gang of us rushed ahead of the fleet, built 2, 3, 4, 5, I think it was 7 by the end, time trial races at each waypoint, which everyone would then turn up and spend all weekend doing. And I, with the help of some AI to help me with the stats, generated this epic spreadsheet, which I'll link in the show notes just for the fun of it. But basically, it tried to rank everyone's efforts on the races. So I basically divided it into 3 categories of ship racing, SRV racing, because they're 2 very different skill sets, I think. And then I also did a combined leaderboard, and the combined leaderboard kind of had weighted scores for your best N, SRV, and ship results. I had a whole thing where I used your best 50% of the races, so you could miss half the races and not miss out on the possibility of winning. So there's all sorts of stuff like that in it. Anyway, a couple of interesting stats before I run down the winners. We had, let me just check this. We had 385 participants by the end of DW3. I think we had something like 72 races. So the scores are rating people's best 18 SRV results plus their best 18 ship results. And let's do this in reverse order. So let's go ship class first. So in the ship class, so this is mostly canyon racing. From 10th to 1st, we have VR247. Spaghetti 17, who sadly had to sort of leave the racing, but was on for the win at one point, but Spaghetti had to kind of leave us at one point. So much for subtlety. Fohammer Greaves in 6th, Tobias von Brandt 5th, Arcsec 4th, Vladigor 3rd, Encurse 2nd, and the absolute robot that was Chimovide, who was completely unbeatable. Chimovide, so each the way my scoring system worked is you kind of got 1,000 points if you came first. And his final averaged result over the 18 best ship results was 1,000.
That's
So he came
wild.
first in every single race. He was just insane. And like I said at the start of the show, Chime is now back in the bubble and giving Shea Blackwood a sound thrashing, which is great to see. Really good fun. Right, in the SRV, we have from 10th, 805 Mac, Quackshoid, Ramalf, Tobias von Brandt, Freefy, Lewis 99, VR247, in third, Alex Fighter, in second, Greaves, and in first place, yes, come on, Alec Turner.
Ray, boo, 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 boo.
Stiff competition from Greaves. That I think it was the closest of all the different tournaments. It was down to the very final race at Sajay. So yeah, a hell of a battle. Really enjoyed that. And then in combined, which sort of combines all the skill sets. In 10th, So Much for Subtlety, then Vladigor, then Enkurs, Tobias von Brandt, Lewis 99, Alex Fighter in 5th, me in 4th, VR247 in 3rd, Chime of Ide in 2nd, and first, and I'm delighted to say this, was Commander Greaves, who was so instrumental in making all that racing happening, and managed to nail first place in combined. So yeah, well done to everyone. It was truly epic.
Amazing.
That's the end of Community Corner.
Amazing. Ben, you had something you wanted to...
Yeah, I just want... Does anyone know if there's a way to see the population of a station? Because I thought I'd quickly nip over to White's Vision to see how many people live there. And I can see there's...
Well,
I can see there's 2.7 million people in the system, but I can't find a way to see how many people...
It might just be system.
Yeah, I can't see how many are actually in a station.
I'm not sure. I'm sure if there is a way someone in our chat will tell us. But if my mistake, I thought it was going to be a community thing that you wanted to talk about. So
that's why I said after community news.
My apologies. But if you do have a community-placed event taking soon and you would like for us to shout about it across the airwaves, do tweet the crew at Lave Radio or get in touch with us on Blue Sky, or we've got a lovely thing in Discord as well. You can email us. info@laveradio.com, but we've got lots of other quicker ways that you can do it, and that kind of good stuff. Thank you, Alec, for putting that all together. That's a lot of Distant Worlds things to have a look at, and some other bits. So going on to our in-game events, what has happened this week? Over the last 2 weeks, we had a new CG where everybody could don their capes to get some increased cargo rack capacity, 1 class 5, 1 class 6, by delivering 1 item just in time for you all coming back from Distant Worlds to get these.
No! I jumped on the fast fleet carrier and everything, and I was back in the bubble in time, and then I completely forgot.
Oh no. I got mine, and then I went to do my my deliveries today in my Panther Clipper and realised that it was all the way in Lumans, and it was like an hour's delivery. By the time I realised that I'd not put it in my Clipper, my very end of my stream today was me adding that new the size 6 that was missing into my Clipper. I now have every area that can have an engineered can have an engineered or like a higher capacity what's it? 100%, absolutely. In this heat, yes. I don't have a fan pointed at me, so this is the most you're getting out for me today. I'm going to forget words. I'm going to forget what things mean. A cargo rack. I have an engineered cargo rack with all of the bits that I need, all of that stuff. But yeah, I did remember to go and do it. Did you do it, Ben?
I wasn't. Well, I knew it was happening, but I was on the slow carrier. I was deliberately on the slow carrier because at the time I thought we were doing a show last Tuesday.
That's true.
But you know what?
True.
I'll stay at Sagay and I'll let people see Sagay, and then we didn't do a show. So I was like, okay, well, I'm on the slow one.
We were. Me and Colin weren't particularly well. Apathis, did you do it?
I did it on my bubble accounts, but my exploration account doesn't need them, so it didn't bother coming back.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Okay, right. So that CG has been and gone. All of the burning stations are now out of the galaxy again, with our hope for them to return at some point. Right, on the 19th of May, we had a very lovely, interesting Galnet article that was talking about the 10th anniversary of Jack Station's historic jump. This predates me being an elite.
Really?
Wow. It just predates me being an elite. It was when it was discovered, and when people were making all of the travel guide deliveries. That was when I first started hearing about Elite.
Okay.
Was at that point.
You missed the CG to fuel the station prior to the jump. But
I missed all of that. This is really early on in like Elite's history. And it's coming up to the 10th anniversary. It just predates me.
As I recall, and I don't know what Frontier's original plan would have been, but as I recall, Jax was discovered much, much sooner than they anticipated.
This is true.
Because didn't somebody turn on something like a population filter and then just look at the galaxy map, and there was
hold on. What's that dot there?
Yeah, what's that glowing dot in the middle of nowhere?
Makes a change from looking at the stars and pinpointing it that way.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. You're triangulating it by the exact images that have been used from the game and figuring it out from the.
I've just got this
background.
image in my head of Darren taking like 4 months worth of story and just screwing it up and throwing it in the bin and going, bollocks.
I think it was Mike Brooks.
I was going to say, I think it was Michael Brooks. Yeah.
Right.
Michael Brooks, who was like, "Oh God, they found it. Oh well, that's that work done and out the window, and then like everything has happened because people found it. That's really fun.
What's this Galnet about? What are they doing?
Oh yes, yeah. What's the Galnet about? Speculation open. My guess is colonization is going to come to Colonia, or it's going to spread out of the bubble just in time for Project Gautier to get to Colonia.
I know. But
I do wish that the bartender in Colonia were at least a different model.
It's a different bar. It's not the same bar. It's not the bar. It's not the bar for the Pilots Federation lot. It's a proper bar somewhere else in Colonia. That's how I justify it in my head.
That's your head. That's your head.
Yeah, right. That's how I justify it. We don't get to see the fun things. We just get a normal.
To be honest, I'm with you there. That we're basically the Pilots Federation. We're basically. I mean, David Braben said this. We're basically space gypsies.
Yeah, we're like
the regular commoners don't like us.
Yeah, we're like little nomads who just get to do whatever the hell we want. So that's this article was and talking about Colonia thriving. I've got an account in Colonia.
There's another interpretation.
An account for ages. Go for it.
Which is that it is absolute proof that Frontier listened to loose screws, because literally the day before this Galnet appeared on their weekly show, they were discussing operations and how one might justify that you can jump into an operation on the other side of the bubble instantaneously, and how that was going to mess with people's immersion, and that everyone the 4 team members can just instantly be there without telepresence. And they started discussing the fact that Jax had been able to jump to the center of the galaxy. And then literally the next day, Frontier published this Galnet, which is just wild because they haven't mentioned Jax for years and years and years. And the day after the loose screws talk about Jax, they mention it in a Galnet.
Bold of you to believe that Frontier work on a day-by-day basis.
I thought it was funny.
That is funny.
So
that is really funny.
The alternative explanation is it's nothing to do with colonization. It's justification for operations.
I like it. I like that a lot. I really do. Like, Jax is like, I'm going to give away my technology for all of for everybody who wants it, and now you can just like but then if you do that, I'll be like, yeah, mate. So why can't I just jump to Colonia? Just let me do it anytime I want, not just for operations. They don't matter in the fucking galaxy.
Are you made out of a giant space station?
Hell
I don't
yeah!
think so.
Exclusive license to Frontline. That's why we can't use it.
Oh fuck yeah, it's gonna be licensed to Frontline, isn't it? Oh yeah, you're right, Apathis. Damn it. Yeah, and then on the 21st of May, we got the notification that the Luman starports have returned to full operation. Boo! I say out loud. I'm very disappointed. I mean, great. Yeah, sure. There's no burning stations anymore. People don't need rescuing, and it's not all bad. But we can fix it. If it happens, we can fix it, and it's fun. But yeah, the Luman starports have returned to full operation. Those are our Galnets from the last 2 weeks. It's been a busy week, a busy month, according to Frontier. Okay, so let's do 2 weeks worth of power play rankings, shall we? In 12th, we have Petraeus, who gained 6 stations over the last 2 weeks to 654. Following them, we have Torval, who has 5 more stations, putting them at 755. Delane follows with 7 more stations, taking their total up to 830. Winters comes in at 9th with 11 new stations, taking their total to 1,087. Antle follows, 16 new stations added to a total of 1,284. Archer has 10 more stations, giving them a total of 1,309. Kane is in 6th, gaining 29, systems, not stations, my apologies. Gaining 29 systems. I nearly said stations again, I know I'd already corrected myself, for a total of 1,427. Hot on the heels of Grom, who have only gained 8 new stations in the last 2 weeks, putting their total at 1,433, 6 away from Kane. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. In 4th, LYR with 16 new stations for systems for a total of, what is wrong with me? For a total of 1,793. Arissa gains, you can see Colin's been ill. Arissa gains 2 systems for a total of 1,887. Marn has gained 19 systems in 2nd for a total of 2,037, but powering ahead in the lead with another 29 systems. Blue-haired Aisling Bathwater Duval has 2,552. And that is your janked power play rankings for this week. I'm so sorry.
Colin makes it seem so easy, doesn't he?
No. No, he really doesn't.
I tried, Colin. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, so Kane is 6 systems away from Grom. It might be next week. It might be the week after, but unless Grom supporters put their back into it,
thrilling stuff.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That'll be a fun change. Right, well, I guess it's that time of the week again.
Store alert!
I don't think we have anything new in the store. I don't think so. We might have new hollows for the links. Let me double. Yeah, I think we might do. Am I right in saying that? New hollows for the links? Hollows. Yeah, there were some new hollows for the Lynx. I think they're relatively new. I think they came out with the devlog. I think that was right in the bottom of the devlog. That said, if you're looking to buy anything cheap, or pretty much everything's on sale at the moment, up until the 4th of June, up to 60% off, and it is genuinely pretty much everything.
Yeah, it is. Has anyone on the crew bought anything?
No.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, I was going to go round, but it's only me. I bought. It turned out I thought it's a good opportunity just to fill in a few gaps, and it turned out I had a couple of Kovas.
Oh, okay.
Missing. So just occasionally it's nice to change it. I use different voices for like SRV and SLF chip, and it's quite fun. So and what's intriguing, I guess it says something about my relationship to Immersion and Elite Dangerous and stuff. But the only Kovas I don't own is the Leo one, which is the one that sounds like Holly from Red Dwarf.
Yeah.
And somewhere in my head, it's like that's Red Dwarf and this is Elite, and the two don't. I can't handle the idea of Red Dwarf being in my head when I'm playing Elite. They're different. Yeah, it's funny.
I might get the sunglasses. I don't think I have the sunglasses.
Gotta get the sunglasses.
Especially if
they're not free.
No, it's 12 ox.
Did they used to be free?
No idea.
No.
Didn't they ever? Okay. I do have the sunglasses.
Wasn't there a code for just glasses at one point?
Well, maybe they did
Did
do
you
a
get a code
giveaway.
from something?
I'll buy mine.
Yeah.
I know I've got them anyway, unless they've got new ones.
Yeah, it's just the Avatar metal framed ones. I might have to get the sunglasses. That might be a thing that I do. Yeah, I don't know about anything else. There's so much though. There's like up to about 60% off on a lot of them. So if you've got Ox burning a hole in your metaphorical pockets, yeah,
I do have
there's that. Yeah, have a quick flick through and see what you've got. Okay, I think we're going to take a quick ad break, and then when we'll come back, I want to talk to the boys about Distant Worlds 3.
Lave Radio, transmitting to every corner of the galaxy.
Swift, sleek, powerful by design. Zilgon Peterson gives you the edge, the strength, and the confidence in any battle. With 4 medium hard points, 1 huge hard point, you have all the firepower you need. 6 utility mounts lets you max your shields any way you want. Engineer those thrusters for infinite boost, and then turn, twist, and keep the enemy in your crosshairs. You choose the engagement, you win the engagement. In a third alliance, everyone fears you. It's the meta, because there's nothing better.
Are you a commander who's tired of interstellar injustices? Do you find yourself constantly needing to express your displeasure? Look no further. Introducing the Manticore Pitchfork, crafted for the discerning commander who demands more than just a plasma gun to make their point. Made from ultra-durable, premium materials, these pitchforks are designed to handle even the most heated encounters with unruly aliens, malfunctioning droids, or pesky space pirates. Whether you're settling a dispute over asteroid mining rights or rioting about a non-compulsory feature, the Manticore Pitchfork has got you covered. With its sleek design and unbeatable durability, you'll be the envy of every commander in the galaxy. The Pitchfork will be in stores later this year, but if you cannot wait until then, you can get 3 months early access by visiting your nearest Frontline Solutions. Order today, and while stocks last, receive a free Displeasure Beacon. This lightweight handheld device combines all the functionality of a naked flame, but with 0 oxygen requirements. Now you can wield your torches in space, and even for a small fee, change their colour. The Manticore Pitchfork, when 280 characters. 80 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 characters. 80
Hey kids, it's Azimuth Biotech. And we're here to tell you some sad news. Our knuckleheads down at the Starshine Imaginarium were a bit too true to life when they made the new Hunter class of Tickle Me Thargoid. And on the advice of our lawyers, Azimuth Biotech is asking for all of you to return your Tickle Me Thargoid Glaves to your nearest toy store to receive a full refund. We would also like to offer our heartfelt condolences to the Jones family in HIP 71682 and invite them on an all-expenses-paid trip to Hind Mine in Titari so that our top scientists can do everything they can to save little Astrid's sight. Keep your eyes peeled for a Titanic surprise coming to a toy store near you soon. This has been a message from Azimuth Biotech. Remember, you owe us.
Hey there, Commander. Are you tired of transporting bulky containers of water everywhere? Wish there was a lighter, more convenient solution? Introducing dehydrated water. With our groundbreaking technology, we've removed all the excess moisture, leaving you with a compact, easy-to-transport solution. Our patented, groundbreaking process extracts 100% of the H2O molecules, leaving you with pure, unadulterated nothing. Get yours today, available in convenient single servings, family-size packets, and for a limited time only, the Jumbo Empty Jug Edition. Buy it now from your nearest starport. And now, introducing our sparkling variety, with our new patented glitter sachets. Dehydrated water, the future of hydration. Warning, must add water to activate. Do not attempt to consume dry.
I forgot about that. The tag. I'm so sorry. And welcome back. It's gonna go well today. Yeah. So Distant World is over. Colin's not here. I'm here with 3 commanders who went on Distant World 3. So I thought I'd ask you. I was trying to think of a word for you.
I was expecting to be far more insult.
I was waiting for bitches. 3. Firstly, either way, folks, what made you guys decide to join Distant Worlds 3? I'll start with Ben.
I missed out Distant Worlds 1 and I regretted it. I did Distant Worlds 2 and I loved it. And I wanted to do that again, basically.
Alec?
So funny. So I missed out on 1. I missed out on 2, probably FOMO of what was going on in the bubble at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I had no intention of going on 3. I may even have been rude about it at certain points. And then I found myself endlessly going around the time trial courses in the bubble and thinking, I'm sick of this. This is genuinely true. I'm sick of this. I'd really like to get away from this and go and do some exploration or something different in the game, because all I'm doing is trying to beat times on time trials and it's driving me insane, and I want to get away from it. And look what happened.
It's like literally my favourite story.
You turned into such a key part of the DW3 story for everyone.
I know. It's funny, isn't it? I had a blast there.
What about you, Epaphras? What made you decide to join DW3?
I had no idea about Distant Worlds 1. I think I briefly heard about Distant Worlds 2. I think one of my mates went on it and I was like, not going out there for that long.
Mm-hmm.
It was like months at a time. And then when Distant Worlds 3 came along, hearing about how much fun everybody had on Distant Worlds 2, I thought, well, I've got an exploration account. I'll join in.
Yeah.
I won't miss anything in the bubble then.
Fair enough, because you've got multiple accounts. It probably hits a little bit differently for Alec, who was like dropping everything and leaving everything behind and going away. And I suppose you were as well, Ben, too.
Yeah, I mean, I only run one account. I'm not going to say I'll only ever run one account, but Commander Edelweiss is my main account. It's the one that I do pretty much everything with. And I was like, I didn't go on to any of my ults, and I I wasn't doing anything in the bubble. I didn't sort of leave somebody at Lave Station or something like that, for example. So yeah, I guess I did, but I think there was only one of the CGs that I was like, you know what, I wish I was doing that CG.
Yeah.
Which is the Burning Stations one.
Yeah,
that was
okay.
the only only FOMO I think I had whilst I was out there. Everything else was like, okay, fine, I don't mind missing out on that.
Yeah,
but I'm
that's
gutted I
fair.
didn't get a chance to do the stations.
Okay.
I really like that I didn't have an alt. I mean, I know, like, and I'm not going to tell other people how to play the game, but for me, like, I feel it felt like it was important to commit to it. If you're going to go on this thing and you're going to be away for 3 months, that's sort of half the point, is to be away for 3 months. And if you can just log in your other account tomorrow and not be away, for me that would kind of spoil it. So I really liked that it was full commitment.
Distant Worlds 3 was very different to 2 and 1 in the fact that they had supporting fleet carriers, so you weren't limited by like one ship that you could take all of the way to Distant Worlds 3. So did you, when you first went on Distant Worlds, did you plan and this is to everyone, I'll go to each of you separately, did you plan like a arsenal isn't the correct word, a micro fleet of ships to take with you, or was there a mad dash back to the bubble to get extra stuff or deliveries and things like that happened as well? I'll start with Alec with this question because his expectations changed so much.
Yes, so I did. It was a bit of a rush because I only decided to go in the last week or so.
Mhm.
But yes, so I took the Mandalay, which, to be honest, I spent most of the expedition in. I took Panther Clipper because I thought there might be some kind of hauling CG, and it might be fun to have the Clipper.
Yeah.
I took a Type 11 because I thought there would be some tritium mining for the fleet carriers, which I think there was, but not that much. I think the demands were pretty easily satisfied, weren't they, though, Ben? So I didn't end up doing any mining, actually. And then, thankfully, what made me do this? Because I didn't know the racing. Anyway, I don't know what made me do it because I didn't know the racing was going to take off. But I did take my Eagle and my Viper. I think almost on the last day, I think I got a whiff that something might happen. I know what it was because before Distant Worlds 3 officially set off, we had a base camp in the bubble. And there was some racing going on there, and I thought, maybe I'll take some racing ships just in case this catches on. So I had an Eagle, a Viper, a Panther Clipper, a Type 11, and a Mandalay. I think that's right.
Nice. What about you, Paphos?
Brought my cat back to build a Caspian to take with me, and then I had my original exploration Keelback and Mandalay. I think I built a Dolphin just for fun. I took those with me, and then sort of as we were getting out there and the races were starting, I was like, I've got nothing really to race with. So
this is your exploration account as well, isn't it? So it's not even your main racers. So that would have been very different.
So I didn't plan for any races. So I was like, okay. So I think it must have been Waypoint 2 or something. I on my main account, I built some stock A-rated small ships for racing, stuck them in the squad bank, and then transferred them out to Distant Worlds 3.
Genius!
And then tried to do as much remote engineering as I could to try and build them up and take bits off of the ships when I needed them.
Because you can't engineer squad banks, can you? I'd forgotten that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, imagine if we'd been able to engineer squad bank stuff. Oh my god, that would have been ideal for you. Oh, that's so. I'm so glad someone's using a squadron bank. That's great stuff.
And then when the links came out, I got that on that account because obviously 3 arcs, and then I swapped bits over from my other exploration ships and made exploration links for the last 3 waypoints, and I quite enjoyed exploring in it.
Yeah. Cool. Cool. What about you, Ben? What did you take?
Yeah, so I was mostly in my Caspian, so I could go and essentially nose around and get a little bit away from the fleet, but also get back to the fleet as well. So I was always sort of sticking around the Odysseus. But because I had the Caspian and sort of a decent range, I could still go a couple of thousand light years off and not worry about getting back.
The Odysseus was the main distant world fleet carrier, is that right?
There was the Odysseus and the Crista, and they were
Okay, cool.
I'd say they were the main ones, yeah. So I was mainly sticking with the Odysseus, and I took my Caspian, a couple of Kylies in and out, and just going wherever I fancied, really. But because I am polygamerous,
yeah,
I wanted to stay with the fleet carrier and at least log out there. So when we did move on, I'd be able to
you wouldn't
stay
get left
there.
behind. Yeah.
So I did that, but I also took the. I deliberately took my crate. And I think I deliberately took a Sidewinder with me as well, and the Cobra Mark 5, I think. I never used the Cobra Mark 5, though I did take it. And then obviously as we got the new ships as they came online, like I summoned the new fighter in, for example.
Yeah.
Just so I could have a look at that and enjoy the base version of that. But yeah, they were the main ones, and I was mostly in the Odyssey, in the Caspian. But other things were available if I fancied it.
If you fancied it, if you needed it,
yeah.
Which has completely changed the way these like large scale expeditions will probably work. I know that there have been other expeditions in between Distant Worlds 2 and Distant Worlds 3, and since the advent of like fleet carriers being in the game, that have used them, but there's no arguing that Distant Worlds 3 is of the largest scale in those kind of things. My big picture question: did the expedition match your expectations?
Yes.
I'll start with Ben on this. Yeah.
Okay, I've already said yes, and yes, it did.
Okay.
I can expand if you want. But
I'd love for you to expand it. We've got time.
So yeah, no, it totally did hit my expectations. I loved the main thing about me for all of these is about community, and I loved the community that was there when we were, when we're on the fleet carrier and we're just jumping about and running around like loons on the fleet carrier, like, right, I'm off to the bar, and and then now I'm running back to my seat, and now I'm running back to the bar again, and now we're playing sort of pig around the fleet carrier, and just stupid things like that, whilst the fleet carrier is jumping 10,000 light years, say. That was so much fun. As well as the random who am I going to wake up next to this time? The fleet carrier jumps. That's just so random that you never know who you're going to see.
That's amazing. I love that. Cool. All right. What about you, Epaphras?
Mostly yes, slightly no.
Okay.
It was great getting out to see the galaxy and lots of things that I've never seen before, and getting all of the newly discovered systems between waypoints and stuff. But kind of felt a little rushed between the waypoints.
Right. Okay.
Because I'd like to, go off the beaten track rather than just going direct from waypoint to waypoint, so that maximize all the new discoveries. And with the racing on there as well, it was sort of like...
I was going to say, I think that's a you problem, though, isn't it? You didn't have to do the racing.
Yeah, so it's like...
How much were you making use of the carrier?
So
were you doing all the jumps yourself and things like that?
Most of the time I was doing the jumps myself, but there were a couple of times where the carrier had already pretty much got there by the time I'd logged in.
Right.
So it was sort of like Monday, if I remember, get off the carrier, do some exploring on the way there, get there for Friday, and then over the weekend do the racing. So it always felt a bit rushed, but that's probably more of a me thing.
I mean, you can only speak to your own personal experience, and that's why I wanted to speak to you, the three of you, about that, because I've got no experience of Distant Worlds, and quite categorically have no want to have any experience of this. But I love hearing your guys' stories and opinions, because I value your opinion on this. And my question to Alec that I'm kind of expecting is, did the expedition match your expectations?
I mean, in the true spirit of the question, I think I would say yes, and it wildly exceeded them. Obviously, in a very sort of literal sense, it was not what I expected at all. But in terms of, did I enjoy it? Was it well run? And
Yeah.
it was wonderful. It really was. In so many regards, like the whole thing with the fleet carriers was I thought was brilliant. Particularly in some of the early stages, there's that thing that you don't always get that many opportunities to do, of kind of traveling alongside a fleet carrier, so you can see where it's jumping to, you can hop off, fly ahead, be there waiting for when it arrives, which is a spectacular thing to see, and kind of do that again and again. So that was a really sort of wonderful start. And then all the stuff Ben says about just waking up each day and seeing who's flying around, and there's always people buzzing around the fleet carriers, and just the whole organizational thing as well. I think it was a really interesting route, really good waypoints, really good communication. It's a running joke about the FAQ and nobody reading it, but honestly, the information was there. There was an awful lot of it. One thing I wanted to shout out as well was the whole Metro Elite thing. I think there were some kind of issues early on with people finding it. I don't know quite what the issues, but some of the people involved kind of dropped out early on. But they a lot of the stuff within Metro Elite had already been written and done. And actually, I thought it worked brilliantly. The concept is very like the Elite Dangerous thing. Of sort of player scripted events using stuff from the journal to say that you've done certain stages, but it's really in game. It's right there kind of as part of your HUD, because it's like an overlay on top of your screen. So you've got like this little list of objectives, and they tick off, and they have a little sound effect, and they did lovely things. It petered out a bit, and I think this is where, kind of, because the guys involved weren't there for the entire trip, so it sort of did peter out a little bit and got to the point that there was only one objective, which was get to the next waypoint. But early on there was some great story stuff, and one thing I really liked was they had this feature where you could, if you went to any of the bartenders on any of the 4 main fleet carriers and saluted the bartender would tell you a little bit of gossip, and basically they'd collected gossip from the community and said, write us a 2 or 3 sentence bit of gossip for the bartender to tell, and then you could just go and salute the bartender, and
That's
he'd be
fun.
yeah. So I really like that sort of stuff. All that stuff I think worked brilliantly. But yeah, in terms of expectations, obviously not what I expected. What I expected was there, though. The heart of it and the spirit of it, and then obviously this whole racing thing just blew completely out of all proportion, and became absolutely all I did for 3 months.
One of the things that I loved actually about DW3 was it was like this magical mystery tour that we were on, and none of us knew where we were going to be going.
Yeah,
and
I like that
I
a lot.
really, really appreciated that. It wasn't we're going on a mad dash to Sage. It was, we're going here. And, we're going to see what's around. And, the fleet carriers took us to the top of the galaxy and the bottom of the galaxy. We went to Sage. We went to Beagle's Point. But we went to so many other beautiful places.
Yeah. And I mean, Claire won't have seen this probably, but so each week within the Discord, there was an announcement channel, and on a Sunday, each week on a Sunday, they would announce where the next waypoint was. But as well as so you could just sit on the fleet carrier and you didn't even need to know, and you just Monday morning you'd wake up and you'd be there. Or you could fly ahead because they announced where the waypoint was. But as well as the waypoint, they would list 3 or 4 major POIs. So interesting things that the players have discovered that are worth going off the B line to the next waypoint, detouring to go and see. And then minors, and you could look them up and you could see screenshots. So you could plan your little route. You could go. So typically what would happen is I'd wake up on a Monday and the fleet carrier I was on, typically the Odysseus, would already be on its way, but maybe only halfway to the next waypoint. So I'd have a look down the list of POIs and I'd go, oh, if I hop off now, I can go and see that one.
Mm-hmm.
And then either maybe hop back on, or if I'm well on the way, maybe I'll just make my own route there. So that aspect of kind of, I suppose fairly lightweight exploration of being taken on a tour bus, but being able to hop off and go and see some stuff.
Yeah.
I think that worked really well.
What was your favorite? This is a really tricky question. I hate answering shit like this, so I'm really sorry. But what was your favorite moment of the trip? Is there one thing that you can pinpoint? I'm going to start with Ben.
I almost facetiously want to joke about talking trains on the Distant Worlds podcast, but that's
please do.
I mean, that's my highlight. If it's not yours, man.
It
my
has
highlight
to
of
be-
Distant Worlds 3, if that helps.
I think any of the mass jumps. I mean, it's a bit cliche, but I loved. Actually, no, not any of the mass jumps. My favorite one was the one when we were all in the the thing that looks like a lobster.
The Lynx highliner, the free one we got because operations was delayed.
Yeah, because I mean, I loved. There was like, we're doing a Lynx highliner mass jump. I was like, it's free. Everybody get a Lynx highliner, and seeing all of these Lynx highliners, and then we just lined them all up, and there must, I should have done the targeting actually, but you had about, I think it was about at least 40, 50 Lynx highliners, one on top of the other, on top of the other. And it was fantastic. It looked fantastic. And everybody just there in the same ship was something really quite special.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, my personal experience of like being things all in the same ship is something. It's a bit nonsense, and I love mass jumps as well. Yeah. Not an explorer, but I just love a mass jump because it's really fun.
Excuse for a mass jump.
Exactly. Any excuse, any little celebration, and I'm there in a ship, pointing in the same direction as everyone else. What about you, Alec? Is there a moment?
Yeah, I think there is. Before that, I was as a sort of side moment, I suppose, is just the whole fact that this idea that we literally made up after we'd set off of, like, I wonder if we can fly ahead. They announced the waypoint on a Sunday. Can we get there and find a location and design a racetrack and build a time trial in ED Copilot before people arrive on Friday? And so the whole idea that actually worked, and not only did it work, but we managed to do it every single week of the expedition, that kind of, I had no idea. So that was amazing. But my highlight was the very first waypoint after the first waypoint. It's a bit confusing. There's an out by one, but basically the first waypoint wasn't the first waypoint.
Yeah.
It's kind of where we started. But where how did it work? I can't remember, but Greaves or I or somebody, we did that. And I'm used to we build these time trials in the bubble and we get like a dozen people or something, once it's been up for a while. And these, remember, only run for a weekend and then we're off, and they'll, apart from the odd explorer, nobody's ever going to run these again. So the galaxy's littered with time trials that are kind of sort of homages to DW3 now. But yeah, I think it was a Sunday morning. We'd set it up. I'd sort of watched the leaderboard. I could see that like 3 or 4 people had had a go, and I was thinking, oh, this might work. A few people might give it a go. And then waking up on Sunday morning UK time, and obviously America's been up all that time, and seeing something like 100 names on the leaderboard was just like, holy shit, this is really taken off. I just had no idea that so many people would give them a go. So yeah, just seeing that moment, just scrolling that leaderboard was my highlight. It's like, fucking hell.
Seeing people engage in something that you absolutely adore doing, like in any situation, is amazing. But especially
seeing
because
100
it's so
people
far
where I
away.
expected like 10 was
Yeah.
wow.
I love that. I love that for you so much, Alec. I think that's so great.
Yeah.
What about you, Epaphras?
Let's go with the SRV races, because they had those they sort of had a time where everybody's going to meet up, everybody's going to do a race, and then you've got like 20 odd SRVs all setting off at the same time, all trying to get fighting for the same track. That was just hilarious. And obviously a lot of frame rates killed, but
yeah,
those were enjoyable. And then it's just the whole, pretty much any time you logged in, there was just commanders around. And even if you go off exploring and you go to a waypoint, you're dropping on the POI or whatever was there, and just people just turn up. There's just be random people everywhere. It was quite fun.
Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. I want to know. I'll start with you this time, Epaphras. Was there any moment in the whole time where you were like, "I want to go back to the bubble"? Was there a moment where you almost turned back?
Not really, but that's because I had a different account I could go back to do that.
Yeah.
So that's
That's fair. So you weren't just logged in on that account. You could move around and all of that kind of stuff. In that case, fuck you. I'm going to ask Alec. Alec, any moment that you almost went, actually, no, I'm going to bugger off?
Not really, but I mean the burning stations.
Was
the one thing I thought, I'd quite like to do that, but I'm sure there'll be more. Won't there, Frontier? Won't there?
The better move Frontier.
Not
I'll be
just
on my
in
way.
operations, in the main game. Come on.
I'll be carrying my way to Cambridge and knocking on a door. What about you, Ben?
Exactly same as Alec. I mean, as I've already said, it was the station CG was my only FOMO.
Mm-hmm.
Everything else was like, I just I'm all right with this. I'm having a blast out here.
Yeah, I think it was the opposite way. There were like one CG or two CGs that were in like off Distant Worlds way, and I was like, you know what, I'm okay, and I've got multiple accounts. I could have put whatever I wanted on one of those fleet carriers.
Turning it round, were there any times when you wish, you know what, I wish I were there?
Not ever in the slightest.
Not even if you just had like an alt sitting on the fleet carrier.
I know people who had alts sitting on the fleet carrier and logged in maybe once and then didn't log in again and joked to me, "Oh my, I don't even know whether I'm going to go and get the decal because all I've done is had an account go around on a fleet carrier." I'm not going to say his name, but he knows who he is. Okay. We're getting towards end questions and those kind of things. If there was a Distant Worlds 4, would you do it?
Who would you like to start?
I don't care. Someone jump in.
Oh yes, in a heartbeat.
Would you do it if it was next week? Follow-up question.
Probably, to be honest, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
There's probably other expeditions that are going on at the moment.
There probably are, but I'm also...
I think the fleet carrier is a big...
Yeah.
Is a big, like, highlight because we don't... I've said this so many times, but we don't play... A lot of us don't play Elite in the same way that we used to. In that we are polygamerous, as you said. A lot of us don't play Elite in the same way that we used to. So the idea of like not being too worried about FOMO by just sort of like sitting on that fleet carrier is a nice way for someone to not log in for a few weeks and still be as part of the expedition. What about you, Alec? Would you go on Distant World 4?
Yeah, I would. Not if it was next week. It was exhausting. genuinely.
Yeah.
Because of the way that we ran it. But yeah. And I think I would. Actually, no. I'll save this for the last question. Yeah, I would. Yeah, it was really good.
Yeah. Is it Apathis, would you do Distant World 4?
Yeah, I would. Although, again, it's the same as it was not next week, mainly because I've got to get engineering mats and I need premium SRV ammo, not ammo, hull mats and stuff. Because that account was really low on all engineering stuff. So
it was a mammoth undertaking, and like the organizers of Distant Worlds did a lot to work on stuff. Is there anything that you would have liked to have seen managed or done differently? I'll start with Alec on this one.
You've rephrased it slightly from what's in the show notes. I was going to say what I would have done differently. Was...
Yeah, no, okay. I'll say again then. Is there anything that you would do differently?
Well, it's funny because one of the things I would do differently is read the FAQ much more carefully.
Okay.
Rather than be part of the problem and ask questions, and for Zoria just have to go read the FAQ. The other thing I would do differently is I didn't know it was going to be the way it was going to be, but I would definitely try very, very hard to persuade people like Shay and Duck and Skur to come with.
Right, yeah.
Because particularly, one of the things that was particularly unusual, I think, maybe about DW3 compared to the others was that we covered that early distance really fast. I joked on the show about being kidnapped, and part of the funny to me thing about that was that we covered so much ground in those first couple of waypoints that by the time you had time to think, it really was too late to turn back. They were. But that also meant that people back in the bubble that kind of got wind of, oh, hang on, this might be really good fun. We were already long gone. It was a big deal to catch up, So yeah, I would bully other people to come along. I suppose is my main thing.
And maybe like stagger the initial part a little bit more, make the initial bits a little slower.
No, I didn't mind that.
No, not even to give other people time to catch up.
It's tricky. I'm sure they thought long and hard about this. The nice. I haven't seen the rationale. Maybe Andy Pitkin, if he knows in chat, can say yay or nay. But I suspect part of the rationale was to just jump over all the familiar stuff and get
I suppose,
straight into the heart of it. Get to the far side of the galaxy where none of us have ever been as fast as possible, so we can start doing the juicy deep space stuff. And I really like that. If it had been a slow crawl to Colonia, I'd have spent the first half of the expedition going, yeah, I've been here. Get on with it.
I get you. I get you.
I quite like that.
Yeah. Interesting. Ben, what do you think?
I've been spending my time thinking, I wonder if there's any way the Distant Worlds team could have done something where they left, say, expedition launch date plus 3 weeks, and it's going to jump straight to waypoint 3. And I wonder if there's even a logistical way they could have done that.
Like an extra fleet carrier, just like a straggler's fleet carrier.
Basically, yeah. I don't even know, because we were that far out. I don't even know if they could.
But also, I think part of the problem with that, Ben, was that from an organisational point of view, I think they wanted to have the roster locked down.
Yeah.
Yeah, they did.
They had a closing date, and I think it was.
I mean, to be fair, they were advertising it for so long. I think maybe. You see, I don't really do the time trials either, but I think maybe when the time trials came in, but you didn't know that was going to be as huge as it was. It's all sort of like conjecture at this point. But again, that's what we're here. I'm here to have a conversation about things that you would do differently. But I don't know.
Yeah, I mean,
I still wouldn't have joined, but I think, like, for the most part, the people who were there to explore were already on those fleet carriers.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, it'd be the people who wanted to join for... There's like, it looks like they're having fun. Damn, I wish I were there.
To be honest, I felt that with DW2. when I started seeing the screenshots and videos, I'm sure loads of people will be in a similar boat with these things.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, a week after it's set off and you start seeing videos and screenshots and hearing stories, you go, shit, I should have gone.
Yeah.
I was just really dead pleased that people were having a lovely time and, you know, that kind of thing. I was more than happy pootling around in the bubble doing my thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you, Epaphras? Anything that you would have done differently, or?
I'm not sure, because at the beginning there was bits, but obviously as the exploration got underway and they sort of adjusted things as they learnt as they went on, because there was like at the very start there was bits of information all over the place, and then the Discord got reorganized a bit so that it was easier to find the information you needed. And yeah, so maybe just like a central point where all the information is, maybe even not on a Discord for those people who don't like Discord for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And yeah, at the end, that's all sort of got worked out, especially with the mass jumps. The first one was a bit
chaotic.
A bit chaotic, yeah. Especially when people found out there's a maximum number of online friends you can have, and before the friends list actually crashes when you try and invite people.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that was
that was a game thing that they didn't really know about at the time. But then they obviously split that up into smaller groups to make that manageable. And the last few mass jumps were spot on. It was just nicely organised and got straight in. Yeah, the other thing I'd probably do is maybe delay the launch of the carriers so that it's not the day after it's announced, maybe a couple of days, just to give people a chance to log in and set off, rather than
stagger them.
Or maybe stagger them, just so that you don't sort of log in on Tuesday and find you're already at the next waypoint and missed all of the POIs on the way.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I did suffer from that, actually, now you mention it, Pampers. Yeah, I had exactly that I would log in and with the intention of hopping off and doing some of the POIs, and quite often we'd already be at the next waypoint or quite
That's interesting.
I see what you're getting at there, but I very much took it as these are volunteers doing things on their own
absolutely.
time.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But I also, with the best will in the world, we also volunteer to do Lave Radio every week. And we're not outside of criticism. So
and also we're allowed to take weeks off like we did last week.
Exactly. Exactly. But if you're committing to something even in a volunteer basis, you should it shouldn't in my personal opinion, you shouldn't be outside of criticism just because you're providing something for free, and you shouldn't be held back from feedback. That's just my personal opinion on it. I'm sorry if people feel differently to that. But I think
it's fair, and I think if, let's say, sake of argument, the Krista was like, okay, Krista leaves on Wednesdays and Odysseus leaves on Sundays. That would have been a thing that people knew about, and they could plan accordingly or something.
Yeah, I think so. That sounds interesting. Listening to what you guys have said. Say there is someone who's looking to go on an expedition, or considering their first expedition. Is there any advice that you'd give them, Alec?
I think maybe get involved with the community that's planning it, early, before it leaves. Get to know your way, however they're organising themselves, almost certainly a Discord. Get to know your way around the Discord. Maybe say hello, get to know the people, get to know the structure and so that you're not sort of playing catch up in the first few days or feeling like you're tagging along. I think, I think all these people are very welcoming, and actually just saying hello in the Discord and getting to know people and getting to know so that on day one of the expedition, you're sort of already feeling like you're part of it and understand how it's going to work. Yeah, I think maybe that.
What about you, Ben? Any advice?
I don't really feel qualified because Yeah, I mean,
what would you
got
give?
the
What
obvious-
would you? What advice would you give to yourself starting, like if you were starting on Distant Worlds 2, for example, now knowing what you know, or starting Distant Worlds 3? What advice would you give yourself knowing what you know?
Okay, so I mean, going back to my very, very first expedition, stop fucking moaning, get on with it, and just do it.
I love that.
Shove a. I mean, this is all you need to do an expedition. Really, is shove a fuel scoop on, and if you're going out there by yourself, take some AFMUs and things like that. But these days, everything is so much simpler. Even if you're not on a fleet carrier, you've got we've got places, especially between here and Colonia, Christ. Especially between the bubble and Colonia, there are so many places that you can go. I'm almost going to say you're not in any jeopardy.
Yeah.
And if you want to do it, just do it. You don't need a ship with 100 light years range, or you don't need the best engineering. You don't need any of that shit. Just go.
Ben mentioned a bit of good practical advice, which is something I did forget to do, and it didn't turn out to be a major problem, but it was a slight problem. I'm preparing for the collective face palm of 1,000 explorers listening to this when I say it. I forgot to take any AFMU.
Amazing. Actually incredible.
I didn't even bother, Alec, because I knew I was going to be with the carrier.
Yes, except the thing is, when you decide you're going to jump off the carrier and make your own way to the next waypoint, and you've done like 30 neutron boosts in a row, and every 10 ED Copilot is telling you to repair, and you're thinking, I can't, I haven't brought an AFMU, and then your frameshift starts to malfunction on every jump.
Okay, so don't do neutron jumps. Instead of jumping like 300 years, do something that's only 70 years.
Or just take an AFMU.
Or take, is it the Caspian that it just doesn't deteriorate? Just take that instead. Take the Caspian, you'll be fine. What about you, Pasphorus? Any
I was
advice?
just going to say, on the back of what Alec was saying, if you take AFMUs with you, make sure they're actually still fitted to the ship. Because I took my Mandalay out.
What?
And at some point, I must have swapped out the module for some reason. It may have been to get an extra SRV bay in or something. And then
sounds like something you do.
and then went off exploring and finding out after a few neutrons, and my FSD keeps telling me it's failing, that I don't have an AFMU to repair it.
Oh no.
So that was fun at one point. I was like, oh well, I'll just get there slowly.
Amazing.
Yeah, so not quite sure what I'd tell someone. Maybe, although it's a bit different now, we've got fleet carriers. But if they were thinking of going on an expedition, maybe take a little jaunt out of the bubble, like a few thousand light years, just to get used to exploring and seeing if it is for them. And obviously with the fleet carriers, maybe load up a couple of ships so that you're not in the same ship for the whole 3 months. You can swap it out and it feels different then a bit.
Yeah, excellent.
Obviously, now that we've got the fleet carriers, if you do find you really can't stick with it, you can just hop in the escape pod and end up back in the bubble. So
yeah. Cool. Excellent. Have I missed anything? Is there anything that anybody else wants to bring up?
There is something that's... I remember returning from Colonia. It was when I first going to Colonia, there's an area of the galaxy where, due to the way that the map in Elite was generated, and you've basically got a grid of stars
Yeah, I know this well. Yeah.
between Sol and Colonia. And I missed not seeing that, because I remember when returning from Colonia manually, seeing that grid and then seeing it go past, and it's just like, I'm nearly home.
Yeah.
And I kind of miss that because it's an epic sight on a galactic scale. And I kind of miss that. Then I suppose I could always just go and see it tomorrow. So,
Yeah, absolutely. You've got Caspian, you can get there in
Yeah.
like 20 minutes, mate. Yeah. Okay. Excellent. Thank you, the three of you, for allowing me to question you about Distant World 3 for the best part of an hour. That's been really fun. I really like that. As you can probably tell, we don't have a question of the week this week. However, we do have 2 questions of the week that are currently live and active. Now, those are both questions about operation types. So basically, the Megaship Massacre Strike, Surface Rescue, Pirate Hunt, burning counterattack, burning rescue, what we already know about now, so I won't be taking any more answers on that, and Megaship Massacre reclaim. Do you have any expectations about what they might be, or things along those lines? We're going to be talking about them to death over the next couple of weeks in the run-up to operations launching on June 30th, which is why we wanted to A, get our Distant Worlds chat out of the way now, and B, not have those sort of like conversations on have a more timely conversation about Distant Worlds because it's just finished. So that's fun. But if you want to come and answer those questions, we have those questions will be answered. Question of the week questions will be asked normally on a Sunday, but they are available on our Blue Sky, on our Twitter, and in our Question of the Week channel and Discord. So do come and answer them, and we'll have a look at them and do all of that kind of stuff. Does anybody have any other business? Nope. Excellent. In that case, I shall move on to the shout-outs. Our sister station, Hutton Orbital Radio, broadcasts on Thursdays from 8:30 p.m. You can tune in at twitch.tv/Hutton Orbital Truckers, or for just the audio at radioforthemug.com. For the discerning commander who likes a bit of CQC action, you can check out the CQC Discord at discord.me/Elite Dangerous CQC. There's also some other Elite Dangerous podcasts that we're going to talk about. The God Frequency, who do other space games. The Wonderful Loose Screws, who predict Galnet articles that come out. It's Distant Worlds podcast still going on? Or
No, I think they've done their last.
I think they stopped, yeah.
Well, go and check out the other episodes, especially if you want to hear Ben talk about the trains. And if you speak French...
Do you?
I just let the funky music do the talking. But we do have the Elite Dangerous folks over doing their all podcast and their missions and those good things. Following this, we have the latest Galnet News Digest as provided by Commander Wotherspoon and Commander Beetlejude. Thank you to those who have chipped in on Twitch chat and our in-game commanders. We have had Siberius, J. Fremantle, Soccer42 and Von Vampiris. Big special thanks to Commander Takoso, Jay Trax, and Alan Stroud, who created the music used on the show. And that's it for another episode of Lave Radio. If you would like to get in touch with the show, then you can find contact links in the home/contact us menu of the laveradio.com website. We love getting your feedback on Spotify, so do all of those engagement things that makes it really fun for us and our algorithm spike and that good stuff. Do let us know if you have any questions or if there's anything you'd like us to discuss in a future episode. Lave Radio is recorded live on a Tuesday evening at 8:30 p.m. and streamed out at laveradio.com/live. Thank you to Ben.
I'm melting.
Same. Thank you to Alec.
Thank you, Claire. Not all.
And a huge special thanks to our tech specialist and lovely chat person as well, Apaphis.
Thanks, Claire.
That's all right. It's so warm. I'm going to go and...
You're welcome.
What?
I need to do both.
Yay! Do both of them. I love it. Okay. Yeah. Amazing. Until next time, commanders, fly safe, try and keep cool. And if you can't do that, fly dangerous.
safe word.
Space can be done.
I'm going to see the galaxy.
Ah, damn it. No worries, guys. Hold the fort for 2 seconds. I'll be right back.
Galnet News Update, 26th of May, 3312.
The Pilots Federation has announced a final, exact date for the launch of the new Operations Mission System, and they've described in step-by-step detail how one of the missions will work. Plus, there's some good news for commanders who long for the days when the galaxy was so much more colourful than it is now.
Originally planned for December last year, the Pilots Federation has twice delayed the launch of Operations, the new mission-running system with its own currency, the Merc coin. Having announced in April that Operations would be released in June, they've now clarified that the launch date will be Tuesday the 30th of June, barring, of course, a need for any more last-minute adjustments. The Pilots Federation would prefer to have a little more delay if this means getting it right. This initial release of Operations will have 6 different types of mission, with more types planned for the coming months. Each Operations mission will comprise a series of tasks, all of which must be completed to qualify for the reward, which will include Merc coin, which can be used to buy exclusive ship modules and upgrades. Credits, materials and merits are also available as rewards, with more challenging missions offering higher rewards. We haven't yet been told whether missions can be undertaken by a solo commander, but each mission type will be available in 2 distinct levels of difficulty, suggesting that it may be possible. So, let's have a look at what the Pilots Federation has told us about one of the missions, Operation Firestorm Rescue.
This one is an entirely ship-based operation, where you are hired to rescue hostages from a burning station. The hostages are being held by crazy outlaw pirates who think it would be a great idea to turn the starport heat right up to the max, so if you don't rescue them, the hostages are gonna turn crispy. The pirates have also closed the docking bay blast doors, so you need to find a way in before you can do any rescuing. Up to 4 commanders can take part together. As long as they're docked, it doesn't matter where in the galaxy they are. The squad leader will take the mission and invite others to take part. Everyone taking part gets picked up by the Operation Runner megaship, where they can swap their current ship and adjust their loadout. Once everyone's ready and have finished popping emotes, whatever that is, the operation will start. After leaving the Operation Runner and flying to the scene of the crime, you're going to have to work together. There appear to be hostile pirate ships swarming around, but someone is going to have to get those blast doors open. There's a subtle way and a not so subtle way. There are 2 shutter clamps to defeat. You can either hack them both with a recon limpet, or you can try to destroy them using firepower. Once the blast doors open, some of the team can then fly into the burning station using heat sinks to manage temperature, and load up with hostages. As the pilot, you don't need to leave the bridge, you just need to wait for the cabin crew to get everyone on board. This appears to take time, and of course you can't launch till embarkation is complete. It also seems that your ship may continue to heat up while it's on the pad, so you have an immediate heat issue when you launch. Meanwhile, other members of your team can buy you more time by hacking or destroying the environmental jammers that the pirates have fitted to the outside of the station. It's these jammers, or incinerators, that are causing the station to overheat in the first place. If your ship is destroyed during the operation, don't worry. The Operation Runner Megaship will sort you out with a replacement ship in just seconds, getting you straight back into the action. Once you've extracted the hostages, there's a convenient rescue megaship waiting nearby for you to deliver them to. And now, it's time for you to claim your reward.
While Operation Firestorm Rescue will be ship-based, some of the other missions are expected to include on-foot tasks, such as fighting for control of a megaship, a mission that the Pilots Federation previewed last month. It's not clear at this stage how operations missions will fit in with the wider galaxy. Commanders undertaking operations missions will not encounter other commanders other than their teammates, but we don't yet know if the burning starport will appear to be burning for other commanders. Will the state of the system affect the availability of missions? What impact will undertaking missions have on the galaxy? We already have a hint that power agents will be able to undermine other powers by completing operations missions, but will they also affect the local faction state? And does the squad leader need to be physically present in the system where the operation will take place before they can take the mission? There are many unanswered questions which should hopefully all be answered when the Pilots Federation launches operations in just 5 weeks, on Tuesday, the 30th of June.
There's another major change coming on June the 30th. Back in the old Horizons day, the galaxy used to be a much more colourful place than it is now. The Tegeta system, for example, was a stunning location with beautiful and characteristic lighting that gave a sense of geography, a sense of place. Each system had its own unique lighting, driven largely by the colour of nearby stars. This was in fact an illusion created by clever filters and ship and SRV canopies, with the reality being somewhat less bright. The filters were removed when Odyssey permits were first issued by caring but misguided individuals in the Pilots Federation who believed that the on-foot commanders wouldn't be able to cope with the riot of colour they would otherwise be exposed to. Well, the Pilots Federation has now relented to pressure from its members and will be reintroducing some of the colour variety we lost 5 years ago. Here are some examples showing how the galactic visualization software will be updated. In a system with a blue-white B-class star, planetary surfaces were once a neutral shade, but now they become noticeably bluer. The very deep magenta of a Y-class star makes planets look noticeably more purple, both on the surface and from a distance.
In a related change, the dirty brown nicotine stain will be removed from the Milky Way dust clouds, leaving a much more true-to-reality version, the cleaner white fading to blue that we can see in the Milky Way with the naked eye. These changes may appear subtle, but they're likely to encourage explorers to revisit their old favourite sites to see just how much better they look when these changes have been implemented.